Okay, so I am back for part 2 of how to create your supersized object. So again, I am creating this object. I'm going to create it 3 times larger than it is. So the worksheet that I created last time goes through my measurements, and I figure out how to triple my measurements by in size. So I'm tripling them, so taking their measurements and timesing them by 3. And now I have, at the bottom, I have the dimensions that I need for my pieces of cardboard. And I've cut my cardboard to those dimensions. So I have 2 pieces that are 9 inches by 7.5. This is for the top and the bottom, or the 2 sides. I have 2 pieces of cardboard that are, oops, get the right ones here. I have 2 that are 16.5 by 9, which will be the front and back of my clock radio. And I have a top and a bottom piece, which are 16.5 by 7.5. So I'm going to show you how to go about assembling these. Okay, let me just get my camera situated. All right. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have enough space, and you're going to want to get some tape ready. And what I'm going to do is just tape together my pieces of cardboard to create my box. That's going to be my step 1. Okay, so I'm going to start with one of my top or bottom pieces, which are the thinner ones. And I'm going to go ahead and just start by putting tape right along the whole edge. So half of the tape is on the paper and then half of it's coming off, right? So then I can take my next piece, which is not the same size, right? I have, one's a little bit narrower than the other. I need to lay this one down right on the tape and press it well. And then while it's flipped over, you see that the tape is on this side. I want to put tape on this side as well to make sure I make it strong enough. So just go ahead with your tape. And then I'm just going to fold it around in the back. Okay, so now I have the bottom and I have one of the sides, right? This is the bottom, this is a side. So next I'm going to figure out which piece do I put on next. Do I want to put on the same exact one next to it? No, because then it won't be the same height, right? I want to make sure that I'm putting on the front and the back like across from one another. So I'm going to go ahead the same way. Start out with tape. This may be common sense, but I find it all very helpful to see a demonstration. There are different ways to solve problems. This is how I'm solving my problem of creating this radio. You may have a different solution, which is great. The point of this project is to be creative and try to figure out how to triple an object realistically. I'm going to be grading it on how realistic it looks. Does it look like the original object that you're copying? Does it have details? Is it done well? Is it sloppy or neat? Did you obviously put in effort and take your time? So this is what I have so far. I have 2 sides and a bottom. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put on the top. So I could do this, and I could try to tape this on, but that's kind of challenging since I only have 2 hands. What I suggest is just lay this piece down over here next to where you left off and tape it on. Just leave a space between the 2. Remember to make half of the tape sticking to the piece of cardboard and the other half of the tape is going off the edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and I can, if it's easier, I can flip it this way so sticky side is facing up, and I can go ahead and then just lay it down and press. And while it's on this side, I'm going to go ahead and add my other piece of tape onto this side to secure it and make sure it is constructed well, it's not falling apart. Now, this demonstration is ideal for an object that is a square or a rectangle. You might want to do something different. You're going to have to think about a different way to construct yours. You'll still start the same way with your worksheet. Personally, I think this is probably one of the easiest things to choose, something that's square, rectangular. Okay, now I have my box. I'm going to go ahead and just tape it closed. And you won't end up seeing the tape in the end because I'm going to add either paper mache or plaster craft. I will show you both options. You can decide what you want to do for yours. And then I'm going to go ahead and tape this on. Maybe someone nearby will help you just hold it so it's a little easier for you. I can certainly help you, but there's just one of me, so maybe somebody else can help you with that part as well. Okay, so now I need to put on these two small pieces, which are my end pieces. To make things easier for myself, I am going to tape more, but to start with, I'm just going to do little pieces, kind of position where it's going to go. And then I can secure it with more tape once I have it on kind of accurately. So just kind of putting some on like that, and then bend it over. The other thing, which actually may have been easier, let me stop and what I could do is kind of do it the same way I had been doing it. I just thought of this. I could start with a piece of tape like this. Sometimes when I'm doing things, I think of better ways, better solutions. Again, there's not just one way to create art. Okay, so I have taped the side. Now I can just go ahead and tape this onto the side here. So I taped it right there and then press that. I think that is much more sturdy that way. So now I'm going to pull it together. Hopefully it's going to be square and not like out of square, if that makes sense. It's going to be even. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to reinforce it with some smaller pieces of tape first. Maybe I can do this, try this method like I was showing you on the other piece here. Got this one part at the top that's a little bit off. There we go. Probably the hardest part is just getting these end pieces on, making them look like they're on straight. You don't need to wrap the whole thing in, like entirely in tape. Please don't, because we'll waste the tape, but do use enough so that it's secure. If you want to just go around like this, that's fine too. Put your hand inside while you still can. I have my hand in this so I can push against the cardboard, and that pops it up so when I'm putting on the tape, it doesn't cave in. So some examples of things you could do. Well, hopefully you've already thought of that by now, but you could have done like a box of candy or a deck of cards, something like that. Or if you want to do something totally different, it could be like a bag of chips. Really, anything that you think of. This is your challenge. I'm not going to do it for you. So choose something that you can do. I will help you as I can, but I'm not doing it for you. So don't choose something super complicated unless you want that challenge for yourself. Okay, so there is that end. I just have to put on this one. And then that is the beginning of how I'm making my clock radio.